Hi, this is Win. I'll be offering a full solution for the quiz question I gave you on Wednesday. Here is the data file. Okay, here's the data file. I think the first requirement I ever ask you to do is to insert a row before the data. Okay, so how to insert it? Select the first row or whatever row where you want to insert above that point and click right, and you see insert option. Okay, you keep inserting things like this. You select two rows and insert. It'll help you insert two rows. Okay. The second requirement is to convert your data table. You convert your data range into a table. So Control T is going to help you complete that operation. Control T. So it's going to recognize entire data table automatically, and also going to let you specify whether your first row is a header or not. Okay. After this, click OK, and as you can see, entire range has been converted into a table, data table. And number three is name the table into pledge list. Okay, so here, this is the place where you go to rename your table. I'm going to name it as pledge list. Click enter. The data has been renamed as a pledge list, as you can see here. This is the third requirement. The next requirement is regarding assigning the grades. Okay, a lot of you had trouble with this because you guys did not know how to utilize this part of data, which is the reference part. Okay, supposedly you have a letter grade here, and you will be assigning letter grade based on the GPA you're seeing here. Okay, there's an easier way for you to do that using VLOOKUP function, but for here I ask you to do using index plus match function. Okay, so remember that there's a certain rule you need to adhere in order to take advantage of data here, reference table here. Okay, so the rule I called was LA rule. L stands for leftmost column. A rules for ascending order, meaning ascending order. So as you try to reorganize this part of data, you need to make your data adhere to those rules. Okay, so let me paste it here. Just need to copy this portion, move this portion, and move this portion as well as these two portions. Okay, and get rid of this because this is useless. And is this part of data adheres to the LA rule? It does not, okay, because you see GPA is in the rightmost column instead of a leftmost column. So you move this around, okay. So now we have a perfect arrangement of reference table. So after I have arranged data like this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and name this part. I'm going to name this range into reference table. Okay, so this table is going to be serving as a reference table in the future. Okay, for next, of course, you need to assign a corresponding letter grade based on the GPA information here. You'll be using both index and match function to do that. But since the function is kind of long, I recommended you to kind of split them into multiple phases to complete it. Okay, so what I'm going to recommend you to do here is do index and match separately and then combine them into together later. Okay, so for let's tackle match for now. So match function tells the relative row number that contains the relative row number that is the beginning of a range that contains whatever value you're looking up. Okay, so for 215, where is the beginning of the range? Of course, the beginning of the range is from 2, therefore it's very likely it's going to return number 5. So convert it into a formula, match the value you're looking up, which is 215, within this range. Okay, last argument is number 1 because we're doing a range match scenario. Okay, range lookup scenario. So click this and then go back and absolute reference this part, and you will get entire results in an instant. Okay, after this, let's go back and working on index function. So index function is going to be pinpointing a certain cell contents based on the relative coordinate you give. So index for among this entire array, which of course is a GPA, grade, reference, okay, which we have named earlier. I'm sorry, I think I have named it differently. Okay, so here you're gonna do is index. The first argument is entire table. Okay, entire table. So I have named it reference table earlier, meaning this entire table here. What we are going to, the second argument we need to feed in is the row number, which we have obtained in earlier step by using match function. We're going to use k6, which is a coordinate, the location of the coordinate. The third argument is the column number, which is 2 here. So k6 basically is number 5. 2 is here second column. Therefore, the contents we're expecting here is actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 2 here is C minus. Okay, now we got a C minus here. Okay, and you keep dragging it. Okay, we have entire letter grade ready here in instant second. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna copy this thing, copy entire formula back into your letter grade. Okay, and of course copy entire contents of your match function, replace with your second argument of index function. Boom. Okay, so now we can get rid of this part. It's completely independent result now. Okay, I think the next one I have asked, okay, is to select the total row option. Total row option. Total row option is an option built into data table tool. Okay, so here go to design and you enable total row. Okay, things I wanted to know is the maximum age. So maximum age. Okay, and the pledge amount, total pledge amount. Sum of total pledge amount and record count and grade column. So how many grade do I have here? So it has count. Okay, already. So and this is AP6 and AP7 is asking you to obtain following information. Okay, so it's asking you to obtain following information. So total pledge of male, female, and count of male and female. Okay, I'm gonna complete this in two different ways. Okay, so I'm gonna using conditional formula, and I'm gonna using the database formula here. Database formula here. Okay, so shorten a little bit. Let me complete this conditional formula first. Okay, so total pledge done by male. Okay, we are only going to sum up pledge completed by male. Okay, so a pledge amount is going to be added to the total only if it is done by male. That's conditional formula. Okay, so sum if the range where all the lookup values are contained, criteria is 04, and total sum range is where all the numbers are contained. So close it. This is pledge done by males. Okay, of course you can just drag it. We can obtain the number done by females. Okay, the same thing, a similar thing with a count if. Okay, count if. Let's count how many males are there. Range here. We're looking for male here. Drag it. So we have 3 male, 7 females. Okay, for now, database formula. Okay, remember, in order to fully utilize the database formula, you always have to do some kind of pre-arrangement. Okay, so pre-arrangement I'm talking here is you need to lay down your criteria you're trying to looking for before you actually start to use your formula. So gender, okay, one is male, one is female. Okay, so this will serve as a formula range in a later phase. So for here, dsum, okay, dsum. So you need to select entire database, including header row. Okay, entire database including header row. Second argument is the field of interest, meaning that the field, the column that contains all the pledge number you want it to add up together. So click this. Okay, you click this. You click it because this cell contains name of the field of interest. Okay, or you can either type. You can either type pledge amount. You can type within the parentheses a double quotation mark. Um, make sure this label is exactly the same with the label here. Okay, the third argument is of course your range here. Okay, oops, need one more. I need to get rid of this thing, right? I need to get rid of this thing. Close it. Okay, we have exactly the same number with when we use sum function. So again, the same. Let me demonstrate one more time. dsum entire database, and the second argument is the label of interest. Third argument is the criteria range. Okay, is completed. So you can do similar thing with count. Um, so we're gonna using count A, okay, dcount A, because dcount is only going to count number of numeric values. So here, entire database, basically the same repertoire, okay, field of interest. Let me see, it's a gender, okay, gender, and criteria is male. Okay, the same result, and I'm going to just drag it. Of course, we're going to adjust the range for the criteria, and it's going to be at the same results with when you're using counting function. Okay, that's AP7. And then AP8, okay, AP8 is something regarding formatting. Okay, so what you can do is, how do you turn your paper into landscape mode? This is what it is, and scale the entire worksheet so that it will fit in one letter size paper. As you can see under the page layout, you can see that you can scale down your paper into one page wide, one page tall. Okay, so you scale down to 71%. Okay, so if you print it now, it's going to be, everything is going to be printed in one page. That's what it is for. And last thing is what? Change worksheet header. Okay, worksheet header can be changed. Let's see, by clicking this part, page layout. Okay, it's going to allow you to enter whatever thing you want to put in the header and footer. Okay, I'm not going to waste time here. Just go back to the data, as we have one more thing left. The last thing left, okay, last thing left is the is the question that like to know whether you have ability to handle advanced filtering or not. Okay, so the first requirement is AP9 is asking you to add a criteria area and define an extract area. Okay, so let's say I'm going to use this area, data above, as a criteria range. Okay, and I'm going to insert whatever result that comes out to A20. Okay, A20. So let's take a look. This is the arrangement you need to make. Okay, you need not coloring or do whatever different arrangement to indicate where your extract area is, but you need to observe where is the appropriate space you can extract your data. Okay, so first requirement, gender is female. Okay, and the GPA is larger than 3.50. Okay, 3.50. So we are going to run a very first query. Okay, we're going to run very first query. Okay, so we're looking for students that will meet these two requirements at the same time. So let's go to data, advanced filter. Okay, and using second option. So list range is the range that your data is contained. Okay, so make sure your header is selected as well. Make sure your header is selected as well. And criteria range is, of course, this part. Okay, as I mentioned earlier, I'm going to copy the very first result from A20. Okay, you click OK, and the three record have passed the test. So I'm going to color it a little bit. Okay, so the entire thing have a similar look. First inquiry. Okay, I'm just going to name it like this. And I'm gonna get second inquiry, because I do not know how many records will be passing the test set up by the second inquiry. Second inquiry asking about who are those people older than 23. Okay, those people older than 23. So I'm gonna basically repeat the same step. Okay, go to data using advanced filter. So the range for the data is intact. Criteria range is intact. So only thing I needed to change is this one, copy to another location, and I'm gonna specify remove it, this place, boom. Okay, so I have four records past the inquiry, past the test. I'm gonna format it a little bit. Okay, now the last thing, gender M, male, and age smaller than 21, less than 21. Okay, I'm gonna go down here. I'm gonna specify as a third inquiry. Okay, so basically I'm gonna repeat the same thing. Okay, data, advanced filter. You see the original place. Your criteria range is correct. I'm gonna copy it to delete it. Copy it to A35, and I'm going to format it so that it will have similar look. So now I have everything completed. Now I have everything completed, and the entire process should not take longer than 23 minutes. Okay, so this is what assessment 6 is about. Hope you have made everything clear so far at this point. Thank you.